In this episode, we will implement delete API using Hapi JS. So let's begin. We'll be using a JSON file as the data source for implementing the delete API using Hapi. We also have a project configured with Hapi and nodemon in place. Please find the details for configuring such a project in the description below. So first we will go ahead and create the source of data, which will be a JSON file. We'll have a listing of few products within a file called products.json. We already have some data in place and we've just pasted that. As can be seen, there is a listing of a few products. Next, we will read the contents of this file and make it available to the application. We'll be using the file system module for doing the same. We'll use the read file sync function from the file system module for reading the data. Next, we will parse the contents of this JSON and convert it into a JavaScript object. Next, we will implement a get all API, which will return the listing of all the products. We need this to verify whether a product is getting deleted once the delete API is implemented. We'll define a route. The method will be get, path will be products, and the handler function will contain the logic for this API implementation. Now that the implementation for get API is in place, let's verify if this is working. We'll make the API call using Postman. As we see, we can see a listing of all the products here. Now we'll implement the delete API. For that, we'll again have to define another route with the method being delete. Path will be products along with the product ID as a path parameter. We'll then define the handler function within which we'll have the logic for implementing the delete API. So here we will define a variable which will hold the product that is to be deleted. Next, we will iterate through all the products to find a match for the given product ID. We can get the path parameter value by calling request dot params dot the path parameter name. In this case, it is product ID. If a match is found, we will assign the product variable with this particular product, and then we will call the splice function to remove this entry from the list, and then we'll break out of this loop. To return the response, we will first check if a match was found. We can identify this based on whether the product variable was assigned a value or not. If a match was found, we will return the details of the deleted product. If a match was not found, we will return a response with the status code as 404 and the response body as an empty JSON body. Now let's check if the delete API is working. We'll verify again if the get is still working, and yes, it is fine. Next, we will implement the delete API call. Try to delete the product with ID 1. As you see, we got a response which contains the product details of the product that was deleted along with the status as 200. We'll again then call the get API, and as we see here, now there is no more the listing of product with ID 1 existing in this response. We will also verify what happens in case we try to delete a product with an invalid ID or an ID which doesn't exist in our JSON data source. Now when we call this API, as we see, we get a 404 status code as a response code and an empty body. We hope you liked this episode and got to learn something from it. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.
At Spinsage, we provide digital consultancy services including web and mobile app development. For inquiries, please visit spinsage.com.